All right, all right. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and all our kings in the house here on the meeting platform and of course on the varied YouTube platforms. Welcome everyone, welcome everyone, welcome everyone. Thank you all very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And at this time, we are going to, of course, start with our signature tune, In It to Win It, by our one and only international singing recording artist, Queen Lerato Shidari. So, take a watch.
aware of the closing doors, please.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Stradari. Really, really appreciate. Thank you very, very much. All right. At this time, as you know, we are going to get into our first presentation. And as you know, the first presentation is my best presentation that I love the most, really and truly. And that is none other than the mindset, because the mindset is the most important thing that um, affects everyone in life, everyone, right? Actually, the mindset is affected by two things: physical, which is really and truly just 20%, and of course, the mental, which is the mind, and that is 80%, right? So it's very important. So let's really work on the mental. You know, everybody want the physical, and yes, everybody want car and house and money and all those tangible physical things. But if we don't address the mental, we are going to have a problem. We're really going to have a problem. And that is even if you're, playing lotto. If you don't have the right mindset that after you win the lotto, what next to do, you're going to end up in problems, major problems. Okay, so the mindset is very important. And of course, one of the dynamic persons that will be actually addressing our mindset this evening on the eastern side, well, sorry, the western side of the world, right? It's an international transformational speaker, a life coach, empowerment trainer, TV talk show host, and of course, published author of 4 books, editor in chief of Discovering You magazine, which of course is a free subscription. And you just register once and you get it every month. All right. And we are talking about none other than Queen Dr. Tunishai A. Ford. And so at this time, we just want to make welcome Queen Tunishai Ford. And the
Good
topic,
evening.
10
Thank
warning
you.
sign you may not be living your best life. Over to you, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. It's great seeing you all. I have been quite busy these last couple of weeks, and I really do appreciate you all being patient with me. Tony and I are working on a major project, and that's what's been taking me away. I miss you guys, and I don't want to leave you all. But if I'm not here, it's not because my heart is not here. It's because right now there's a major project that's taking up of our time. But I'm going to be here when I can. So I just want to let you all know that. Okay. But anyway, I just wanted to say good evening to you all. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another mindset. Thank you again, Dr. Derek, for allowing me to have this platform. It's an awesome platform, and I am just honored to be here once again. As Dr. Derek introduced the topic, 10 warning signs that you may not be living your best life. And when we think about that, you all know Dr. T. You've been knowing me for a couple of years now, and you know that I strive, I'm driven to live a purpose-driven life. I want to walk in my full potential, and I know that all of you here have the same desire. There is no high like the one where you accomplish something you thought was too challenging or even impossible and see it come to fruition. How many of you felt like that before? You're in that situation where you've accomplished something and you pat yourself on the back and you say, wow, that was great. You know what I mean? That's great. That's a great feeling. But many of us have a sneaky suspicion that we are underachieving sometimes because we're not always on that high. Sometimes life would take us on a journey where somehow we just get off focus. We take a wrong turn, and sometimes you don't even know how you made that wrong turn. I don't know about you, but I've been there before where I'm on this journey and something happens and I'm on this road. I'm figuring out, how did I get on that road? And you feel a sense of complacency. You feel a sense of boredom. You feel a sense of purposeless. And I don't know if you ever felt that way, but oftentimes that may happen more than we want it to. If that's something we want to stay away from. So today I want to share with you, 10 warning signs. I'm going to just do 5 today because it's going to be a part 1 or part 2. But I want to share with you signs that you may be not living your best life and what we can do to get back on track. That's what we want to do today. That's what we want to do. So bear with me. You know how I do it. For those of you who are taking notes, we're going to take note. Number 1, the first thing we're going to look at, number 1, 10 warning signs that you're not living your best life. Number 1, for those of you who are taking notes, you're just coasting along. Ever felt like that? You kind of like just going through the motion, taking one day at a time, but there's not no real excitement in it. You get up in the morning, you go through your routine, you go through the day, and you start the whole cycle over and over again. You feel like you're in a rut. You feel like you're just not motivated. Have you ever felt like that? And sometimes when that happens, that's a warning sign. That's letting you know that, okay, something is going on that I need to truly examine. Why am I in this space? What am I doing? What's in my surroundings? What kind of people do I have in my life that are taking me to this place? If you just find yourself coasting along, that means that you're in a place of complacency. And no one wants to be in that place. You say, well, what do you do about it, Dr. T? That's the time when you have to really look at reflection. Find out where you took that turn. We're coasting along. Like I said, we're on that journey, and somehow we got off track. When you get to the place where you're coasting along, sometimes it could be okay because it keeps you balanced. Sometimes it could just keep you from being so overwhelmed. It keeps you from not being anxious. But sometimes coasting can become unhealthy when it becomes a person's way of life and there's no coping mechanism. You want to stay out of that arena. If you're consistently avoiding taking action or living off the momentum of past efforts, then there might be a problem, particularly if you're being pushed or pulled along by other people. Sometimes people are pushing you and pulling you to go into a direction that you really don't want to go into. How many of you are aware that sometimes we find ourselves being what I call people pleasers? We find ourselves achieving goals because somebody else thinks that we should be in that space or we should be in that place. How many of you have found yourself being there? And then instead of you being excited about it, you're just coasting. You kind of find yourself just going with the flow. And that could be a very dangerous place to be. So your goal is to be true to yourself, be authentic. Make sure that you understand why you are doing the things that you're doing, because coasting could be good, but not a long term. Coasting can be a coping mechanism. It can keep you out of stress. But when you're coasting too long, then it's time for you to examine your life and say, why? Why am I in this place? What am I doing? Am I being satisfied by how I'm living my life? Or am I living a life that someone else wants me to live? So again, number 1, we're looking at the signs that you may not be living your best life. So number 1, you're just coasting along. Number 1. Number 2, you have an excuse for everything. Ouch. Ooh, ouch. I don't know about you, but how many of you been in that place? You make excuses for everything. Well, I would go after a better job, but I just don't have the education. Or, I would take that dream vacation, but, I gained 15 pounds. I got to get rid of those 15 pounds and maybe I'll go on vacation. Well, I really am attracted to this particular arena, but I just don't feel confident and competent to do that. Well, maybe I'm in a place right now in my life where I just feel like everything is just not going my way, so I'm not even going to make an effort. It's always an excuse. How many times have you really wanted to do something and you talk yourself out of it? How many times have you looked at a situation and you always think of things that may not ever happen? Fear, you allow yourself to become fearful, and oftentimes it never even happens. But yet you've already planned it out. You've already spoken it into existence. You've already mapped the whole thing out, and it's not even how it's going to be. Therefore, you find yourself always making excuses for everything you try to do. So you find yourself being what? An underachiever. You find yourself being complacent, and then evidently you're not living your best life. Why? Because you've talked yourself out of it. You come up with an excuse. You make up excuses that never ever come to fruition. How many times have you found yourself in that way? Let's be honest. Let's be transparent. Everybody at some point in their lives have wanted to do something and you didn't do it. Why? Because you talked yourself out of it. Why? Because you had excuses. And if you took a step forward and toward that thing, you would have achieved it. Anything that you desire to do, we already know that you can do anything that you put your mind to, especially if you do it in God. He's your anchor. You're not in this thing alone. I don't mean I'm not trying to get all deep and spiritual, but you're not in this thing alone. Anybody that knows that is serving God, you're not doing anything by yourself. And what does he say? You can do all things through him that strengthens you. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So instead of you making excuses, begin to have affirmations. I can, I will, and I am. I can, I will, and I am. And when you begin to affirm those things, you'll get rid of the excuses and you'll be well on your way to achieving those things that you feel are unachievable. Number 2, you have an excuse for everything. Number 3, and this is so important. This is so important. Number 3, you're distracted by drama. Wow. Some people just live for it. They just live for it. And the bad part about it, ladies and gentlemen, you don't even realize is that it's a handicap. You think that's normal. Having drama around you, around people who always have drama. You can't even exist unless somebody has a problem and you're that go-to person. And I've talked about this before. You're the go-to person. They can't solve a problem without you. Everything around you is chaotic, and somehow that appears to be normal to you. What in the heck is wrong with that picture? That you think that you can survive and thrive in chaos. That is one of the sure signs that you are not living up to your potential, that you're not living your best life because you have adapted to living in drama all around you. There are people who make poor choices and they pull on you, and instead of you put the stop to it and say, no, remember that word? No. I used to always tell you, no is a great word. No, I don't want that in my cycle. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my space. I don't want that in my head. I don't want that in my heart. But how many times do we push that away? How many times do we allow the enemy, the drama, to come into our lives and put that stronghold on us, and then we find ourselves not achieving and becoming the best version that we can become of ourselves? Because why? Because for some reason, drama and chaos has appeared normal. It becomes, you're familiar with it. And sometimes comfortability comes from being in something that's familiar. Stop allowing chaos and drama to be familiar. Kick it out of your space. Tell yourself it's not your portion. God never intended for you to carry a lot of stress. We have a low stress threshold, not a high one. People think that, I have a high stress threshold. Then you have all these insidious diseases that Jackie tells you about, diabetes, high blood pressure, all these other diseases that come into your life because you have allowed the chaos to overwhelm you. I have a sister who always tells me, she's in her 80s, and she used to always tell me, I just want peace. I try to stay, I stay in the moment. This is what she tells you. She said, I stay in the moment and I stay away from all the stress. I don't allow that stress and chaos to come into my space. We all should have that philosophy. Don't allow the stress and the chaos to come into our space. I'm not saying that you're never going to have stress. I'm not saying that, but some of us allow too much. Some of us don't know how to repel it. Some of us don't understand that God never intended for you to carry a load, especially when you're around people who don't care about the choices that they make, but yet they have no problem pulling you down. I always tell people, if you can jack up your life and it does not impact anybody else, go for it. But I promise you, when you make poor choices or somebody else is making poor choices around you, guess who it impacts? It impacts you and others who are innocent. And we don't want that. So if we're going to live our best version, if we're going to live our best life and reach our full potential, we have to get rid of the distractions. Don't allow that attraction. Don't allow the drama and the chaos to overtake us. So number 3, you're distracted by drama. Again, we're talking about those 10 areas that hinder us from reaching our potential. We hinder us from being the best version of ourselves. Number 3, you're distracted by drama. Number four, time keeps getting away from you. Wow. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. That's what Dr. Derek would tell you. We all have the same number of hours. Why is it that somebody else can accomplish what they need to accomplish in 24 hours and you can't? Think about that. 24 hours God has given all of us. He doesn't give you 24 hours and give somebody else 32. All of us have 24 hours. But yet some of us know how to accomplish what we need to accomplish in those 24 hours. And some of us feel like we need more time. No, you don't need more time. What you need is motivation. I'm going to give you 4 reasons that you keep saying that you need more time, because many times you lack the motivation. You're not even motivated to be doing the things that you're doing. That, again, that's a distraction. You got your hands in stuff and you're not even motivated to be professional about it or to accomplish anything. So therefore, because you're not motivated, what are you doing? You're doing number 1, you're coasting along. You're going back to number 1, you're just coasting along, you're not motivated. The second one, you're procrastinating. If you're not motivated, then what are you going to do? You're going to procrastinate. I'll just put that off. I don't have enough time. You got 24 hours, but I'll just put that off. But you got to do this. No, but I really don't feel up to it. It's not really in my heart to do it. I'm not really motivated to do that, so I'll just put that off. Procrastination is one of the number 1 reasons why people are low achievers, because they put things off. They don't even know they don't even understand that it's important. They've been so involved with the things that they're not motivated to do, or things they shouldn't be doing, the things they should be doing. They don't have the energy for it, and therefore they find themselves procrastinating. Number 3 is the lack of prioritize. We're still talking about not having enough time. They don't prioritize. How many times have you had a list of things you want to do, and then you may have 4 or 5 things that you put on your list to do, and you only accomplish 2? I wonder why. Remember now, we all have 24 hours, but yet you have 5 things that you could be doing, but you only accomplish 2. Maybe you're not prioritizing. Maybe you don't understand that when you prioritize, what's the most important thing you need to do? When I do things, and Tony will tell you this, I tell Tony all the time, every morning, Tony and I talk around 10 o'clock a.m. That's the time we talk. And I'll give her a set of instructions, because she's my assistant, that we need to do. And oftentimes, I'll tell her the things that are trivial, or nothing is trivial, but medial, do those things first. Get it out the way. They're important, though. But those are the kind of things that you can probably get done in a couple of minutes. Not going to take hours to do it. Tony, get this done first. And then I'll say, Tony, did you do so and so and so and so? Oh, I forgot. I'm telling on you, Tony. I'm telling on you. I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Tony, but if you had did that first, that would have been out of the way. It was important, but it didn't take that much time to do it. Oftentimes, we find ourselves going after the things that take more time to do. Get the things out of the way that don't take up that much time. Get it out of the way. And then you'll have time to spend on the things that will take up more time. Does that make sense? That's an act of prioritizing. You may do it backward, but I feel that if you get the things out of the way that do not take up that much time, then you have time to do the things that may take up more time. Does that make sense? So again, we're talking about time keeps getting away from you. And one of the reasons why is because you're not prioritizing. You find yourself being overwhelmed because you're not prioritizing the things that you should be doing. And then the other thing, number 4, they're still talking about time keeping you getting away from time. We're talking about that. Number 4 would be, again, too many distractions. Too many distractions. When you have distractions, when you have things on your plate that are taking you away from your goal, of course, you're not going to have enough time to do what you're supposed to do. Everybody has been given 24 hours. Therefore, I think that God knew that within 24 hours, you should be able to accomplish what He's called you to do. You should be able to accomplish your goals for that day. And if you're not accomplishing those things, look at the fact that maybe you're not motivated, maybe you're procrastinating, maybe there's a lack of prioritizing, and maybe you have too many distractions in your life. When you look at those things and begin to examine what's going on, you'll find that you do have enough time, and you'll find that you'll get your goals accomplished. That's number 4. Time keeps getting away from you. And last but not least, number 5. This is so important. You're not putting the work in to doing a good job. Sometimes we take on projects or tasks and we kind of like just coast through it or we slide through it, but we don't put the energy into it. Therefore, we don't get the outcome that we want. Maybe you're going to prepare a speech, or maybe you're going to write a paper. Maybe it may be something when you're trying to get a promotion and you find yourself really slacking off. Okay, because you feel like, oh, I'll just glide through this. I'll just wing it. And winging it is not going to get it done. You have to really put some energy into it. And if you're going to be an achiever, if you're going to live your best life, you have to invest the time and the energy into something that you're doing, especially if it's important. Many times you look at a person who gets promotions and they're the ones who get there early, they leave late. You find that they're always task oriented, but you come in, take long lunches. You know what I'm saying? You slack up and you're on the phone, personal calls. When you do your job, you have work left over to the next day. Then you want to figure out this person hasn't even been there as long as you've been there. You have more seniority, but yet they got the promotion. But you get mad. I have seniority. Yeah, but you don't have the quality work. You're not putting the time in. You're not putting the effort in. And that's not just about professionalism, even in your personal life. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, losing weight, trying to eat better, being around a better type of a group of people in your life, you got to put the work in. You can't just slide through the thing. You got to make up in your mind that this is something that you really want, and put the time in, put the effort in, put the energy in it. And when you do that, then you'll get the outcome. So number 5, you're not putting the work in to doing a good job. If you want to reach your full potential, if you want to live your best life now, you've got to put the effort in. You've got to put the effort in. So I'm going to do a recap. I just did 5 of them for you today. So I'm going to do a recap. We're talking about the 10 warning signs you may not be living your best life now. Number 1, if you're taking notes, number 1, you're coasting along. Number 2, you have an excuse for everything. Number 3, you're distracted by drama. Number 4, time keeps getting away from you. And last but not least, you're not putting the work into doing a good job. If you want to live your best life now, stay out of these arenas. This may seem like it's a negative message. It's not. Like Dr. Derek said, we're talking about a mindset. If we change our mindset, we change our lives. And sometimes we need to address those things that are hindrances in our life. And when you begin to look at these warning signs and stay out of these arenas, I know that you'll be well on your way to reaching your potential, living out your purpose, and living your best life now. I'm Dr. T, and thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
Oh, mercy, 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 mercy. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen. Dr. T. Really appreciate, really appreciate. It's like on Mindset Monday yesterday, my wife was actually saying the same thing. Her topic was personal productivity. Personal productivity. And she talked about better time management. These are the goals: better time management, improved focus, reduced procrastination, work time balance, and higher quality output. And oh my goodness, it's like you hit me again today. Hit me again today. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. That was awesome, awesome, awesome. I do see uh, Queen Pastor Tony hand is raised. Go ahead.
Excellent presentation. It was a hard one, but it was good anyway. And
Yeah.
I know I am in the process of doing better in all those first five, and in the process of eliminating some stuff that are getting in the way and hindrances and things. So I thank God for the message that came forth today, and it's a wake up call, and it's hard, but it's good anyway. And those are the hard messages as well as the soft ones that still make an impact. It's a good thing. So thank you, Dr. T, as always, for some good information and mindset changes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Pastor Tony. Yes, you see, for some reason I like easy. I like easy. So yes, I will definitely box off the easy work. Queen Dr. T, yes, I will box off the easy work. I don't know who want to do hard, right? When you have to burst your brain and concentrate. So to feel, especially to feel accomplished for the day, you do the five easy stuff, seven easy stuff, and then you buckle down and start do the hard stuff. Because the hard stuff is going to take a little while, maybe into the next day. So you don't want to start the hard stuff and then the whole day you're working on the hard stuff, and the day finish and you accomplish nothing. That really, yes, Dr. T, that don't make any sense to me. So I box off the 4, 5, 6, 7 easy stuff. 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, boom, 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 boom. And then now, you sit down with your bottle of water and all of that, and and ready to rock and roll. So if you don't finish accomplish that difficult one, at least you finish, you accomplish, you had an accomplished day, so you still feel good. You still, well, I still feel good, that I have 6, 7 things to do, box off 5, 6 of them, and I have one left, and it kind of giving me a little thing there. So, you know, but I still feel accomplished, and that is how you feel good at the end of the day. Now you start the hard stuff and you don't accomplish it, and the day finish. Now you're going to feel the sadness come on, and if you don't mind sharp, some depression come on, and so you don't feel accomplished. Go ahead, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. And
Mhm.
good evening to all. Good morning, good afternoon, like Queen Dr. T stated earlier. Amazing, amazing presentation, like always, Dr. T. I like those. I mean, they're 10, 1 in signs, but thanks for the first five. And they seem to be very important. And it do point out that we're not living our best life if we get caught up in coasting along. Well, I don't coast along, but at days I do take like a day. And like you said, as long as I don't get stuck in it, I take a day to just some days are just like that. You just I absolutely do nothing because I probably worked so hard the day before. And then excuses for everything. that's not so much of my I don't use excuses. It's not good. You're not going to be productive. You're not going to get nothing done. And like you said, we're going to be an underachiever. So making excuses is just not even wasting time, and you don't get it back. Like you said, time keep getting away from us, and that's a good way of time getting away from us, because if we're making excuses, we're not accomplishing anything, and the time is going by, and the one thing we can't get back is time. So you're so right about letting the time, and we sometimes I procrastinate. I put things off when I should really do it. And I remember saying, I think it was last week, that I was like, kept on putting this project off, and I was like, well, why am I there? And I was asking myself, what's going on? I even say, I wonder if it's Satan trying to hinder me, because I just couldn't. I say, okay, I'm going to do it today, and the day will come, and then I won't do it. And then I said I will do it. Okay, then I'm going to do it Wednesday, and I kept on till one day I just had to say, I'm doing it today. So sometimes you got to push yourself, even when it seems like you don't have the energy. I mean, if you're tired, it's a different story, and you can't do it, it's okay. But sometimes we have to push ourselves out of those areas where we get stuck, and then distracted by drama. And I was thinking, well, I really don't get in any one drama, but yes, unconsciously sometimes we do. It could be a phone call with your girlfriend, and she's telling you her drama, and you're really not interested in her drama, but you're giving the listening ear, because like you said, that sound like you're falling in people pleasing, being pleasing them, because they're so accustomed of you always listening to their drama. And even though you try to direct them in it, you still is in it. And at that same time, you're losing time from yourself. So that's another way of us losing time, getting away from us, because we're caught up in somebody else's drama. It's not our own. And then, like, you really can't tell them anything, because that's where they at in their life, and they're really not hearing anything you say. And the next one was, not putting your best into everything. And God talks about excellence, And I think when you put your best, and like Dr. T said, invest in our time and make sure, and energy, because you're going to need energy to do it anyway. But make sure when you do anything that you do it to the best of your ability, because that could bring you favor. It could land you a promotion. You don't never know which way it's going to go. So these are amazing signs that we're not living our best life. And we do have to examine ourselves and try to change them around so we can live our best life. So thank you so much for those first 5. I look forward to the next 5. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
You're welcome, sir.
Queen Tony Coleman put up her hand again. Go ahead.
I think my hand is up, Dr. Derek.
Okay. All right. Okay,
I think that's my hand. I think that's my hand, Dr. Derek. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I just wanted to make a comment just make a comment on I want to make a comment about that. When I give these messages, I always tell you all that I'm talking to me first. I'm always the first partaker. It's called life. Nobody has arrived. We're all going through this process. But I'm pretty sure we all know people who just choose to have a life where they're not doing anything with it. I don't know where that came from. They're just not driven. They're not driven. But I'm looking at all the people on this platform, and we haven't met in person. We have not been in the same space per se. But all of you the little bit I know about you are not underachievers. You're not. You all have lives. You're thriving. You're doing great things. But I'm pretty sure you can all say at one time in your life, maybe even right now, you might just be going through a place of complacency. And that's okay. But the thing is that we don't want to stay there. But there's so many people they're just not driven, and you can see that they're the ones out there drinking, they're on drugs, they're gambling, they're out there just living a scandalous life. They're just out there they're destructive, self-destructive. And it's hard for you to believe, especially me and all of you, I'm sure. It's hard for you to understand how can someone just be so self-destructive. And I'll tell you how. The word of God tells you without a vision, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have a vision, it's inevitable that you're going to self-destruct. You've got to have a vision. And you've heard me say this so many times that the graveyard is the richest place in the world. So many people, untapped potential. They went to their graves never fulfilling their purpose. Why? It could be a number of reasons. But as long as you know your why, as long as you know why you wake up in the morning, as long as you know that, then you'll be a better person for it. You won't stay in that place of complacency. You'll find a reason to continue to thrive. So when I give you messages like this, it's not to browbeat you, tell you that you're all bad people, you better hurry up and get together. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to you that, hey, look, it's called life. And when you see these signs, before it takes a hold of you and grab you and take you down to the ground, be aware of it and work on those things so that you will not be in a place where you will not be able to live your best life. And that's the reason why I bring these messages, not to browbeat you, but to exhort you, and to exhort you, and to give you encouragement to keep going, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm the first partaker, and I just want to share that with you. Thank you.
All right. Blessings. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford. Really appreciate. Thank you very much. All right. Wonderful. That presentation, yes, that was dynamic. Too many people procrastinating, and woe is me, and that's not going to help. That's really not going to help. It has never helped anyone, and so it will still not help anyone today. All right. There are so many things that we can do now, right? AI. Learn AI. Learn artificial intelligence. Everything is going into AI now. Everything. And it makes it easier, if I may say. It also makes it easier, right? Even if you need to write a book, AI can help you to write a book. So it's not difficult anymore, right? You sit down at home not doing anything, write a book, right? It's going to cost you a little to publish it. And of course, you have a lot of publishers on this webinar. Dr. Tunishai is an editor-in-chief, can edit your book. And of course, Pastor Coleman can publish it. So you have the key people right here. So write a book. AI can help you. Write a book and publish it and make some money. All right? That's how it works. So you can do something. Right? It's there to be done. So, stop procrastinating. Enough YouTube videos there to help you also. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Really appreciate it. All right, so we're just going to go quickly in a little computer and technology. What we will be doing today, it will be based on networking and those kind of things, internet, etc., etc. All right, because I guess everybody grasps already the whole aspect of computer parts and the difference between hardware and software. We went through all of that already. So let us do.
There are lots of reasons to set up a home internet connection. For example, you'll have access to email, news, shopping, TV shows, and much more. And once you have a working internet connection, you can create a wireless home network. which will let your whole family connect their computers, smartphones, and other internet-ready devices. Let's look at a few different types of internet connections that you can have. Dial-up connects to your phone line. It's usually much slower than other types of internet connections, but in some areas it may be the only option available. Generally, DSL and cable are better options. DSL plugs into your phone line, and cable uses your cable TV connection. These are both known as broadband internet connections because they offer much faster speeds than dial-up. This makes it easier to watch videos, play games, or browse the web. Fiber is the fastest type of broadband currently available. Using fiber optic cables, it can provide speeds that exceed even DSL or cable. However, it may not be available where you live, and it tends to be more expensive. Cellular is sold under a few different names, including 4G, LTE, and 5G. They're types of wireless internet connections often used by smartphones, but you can also get these types of connections for your home. Depending on where you live, a cellular connection may be a good broadband alternative.
Also, you have satellite internet, which is now available, and that is an available option.
No matter what kind of internet service you choose, you'll need to purchase it from an internet service provider, or ISP. Chances are you can buy internet service from your phone or cable company, or you may want to shop around for a better price. Your ISP will guide you through the entire process of connecting to the internet. They will usually need to send a technician to your home to turn on your connection. Your ISP may also give you a modem and set it up for you. But if you prefer, you can buy a modem from a computer store and use the included instructions to set it up yourself. These instructions will vary, but the basic idea is that you'll connect the modem to your phone jack or cable TV connection, and then connect your computer to the modem using an Ethernet cable. Once you have everything set up, you can open your web browser and begin using the internet. If you want to connect several devices to the internet, you can create a wireless home network, also known as a Wi-Fi network. To do this, you'll need a wireless router, which takes the internet connection from your modem and broadcasts it throughout your home. Your modem may already have a wireless router built in, so you may not need to buy one. To set up your wireless connection, follow the instructions included with your router. You'll need to choose a network name, also known as an SSID. Also, for security, you should turn on WPA2 or WPA3 encryption, depending on what your router supports. Then, make sure you choose a strong password. After you've set up your wireless network, go into each device's Wi-Fi or network settings, select your network name, and type your password. If any of your devices are not wireless ready, you can simply plug them into your router with an Ethernet cable, or you can purchase a wireless card. Setting up an internet connection and Wi-Fi network takes a little bit of work, but once you get it set up, your family will be able to use the internet without being limited to one computer.
All right, all right. Okay, and one of the things that I want to show you, right, is when a lot of people use Wi-Fi at home, right? Most people do not use the Ethernet cable to connect to the internet. Most people use Wi-Fi because that is the quicker way, and you are not confined to that Ethernet cable coming from the wall or the modem, right? So therefore, a lot of persons is on the Wi-Fi. So two things that you need to know. Number one, you need to know what internet speed you are paying for. You need to know that, right? Because you're paying for it. So if you are to get 500 megabytes per second, you need to check if you are getting 500 megabytes per second or even 450, right? It make no sense you are paying for 500 megabytes per second or 750 megabytes per second. And when you look, you are getting 100 or 150, right? It means you are getting less than, all right, take for argument's sake, everybody pay for water, right? And, you go to your pipe, and when you turn on your tap, there's no water. Nobody don't talk about any lock off or, what have you. You don't hear any news about any lock off. When you check, you pay your bill, not that you owe bill, and they lock it off. There's just no water, right? And when you call the water company, the utility water company, they say, well, we don't have enough water to give you the amount of water you to get. You're going to get rattled. So, if the water turn off, immediately you get into action, just like a light. If your electricity turn off, immediately you get into action. Or if it slow down, right? So for argument's sake, your light them start to get dim, very dim. And when you call your light company, they say, some problems going on and it's a little low. Right away, you jump into action and and get it where it's supposed to be. So it's the same concept with your internet. Same concept, right? If your internet is not up to par, you should call the ISP, your internet service provider, and find out what is happening. But you can't do that because you don't know. Maybe don't know how to check for that internet speed, because the next thing you don't even know how much you should be getting, right? Because if I was to ask many people right now, how much internet speed should you be getting? Most people might not know, right? So the way to check, well, first of all, as I said, you need to call your internet service provider or look at your bill, and on the bill should tell you how much internet speed you are paying for, right? So when you know how much internet speed you are paying for, then you would go to a web browser, or you download a app on your phone, and you type in on the browser, you type in test, speed test. That's it. And you click on the enter button, and this first one will come up, run speed test. You can do that one, but I prefer the Okla. This one is a little bit more better and efficient where I am concerned. So it's normally the first one after this one in the square box, right? And you click on it, speed test by Okla. Click on it, and it comes up, right? And you click on go, bam. And when you click on go, it gives you what you're currently getting, right? So right now, I should be at least at um, all right, so that is 732. I could call and quarrel about that, because I should be getting 1 gig, of course. So 732 That's 300, right? So that's a little bad, really and truly, because I should be getting 1 gig of internet speed, which is 1000 megabytes per second, right? Give you 1 gig, right? So this is a little bad, kind of a little bad. Upload, same thing, I should be getting 1 gig. I'm getting 624. Now, it's good for me to do what I'm doing, right? It's good for me to do what I'm doing, but I am paying for 1 gig. We are paying for 1 gig upload and download, which is 1000 megabytes per second, right? Okay, the ping is not too bad, right? Not too bad, which is 8, right? So that's not too bad. Okay. So this is what you want to check, right? Um, to know what is it that is happening. Same thing if you have a phone, then you go to your app store and you do the same. You download speed test. You just go in your app store and search for speed test and look for Okla. As I said, that's the better one. And do the same thing. If you don't have a computer or a laptop, right? You do the same thing. And make sure you are connected to the Wi-Fi in your home. Make sure you are connected to the Wi-Fi in your home when you are doing the speed test. Very important. And one, so that you can talk to your ISP, which is your internet service provider, and let them know, listen, you're not getting the amount of speed that you are paying for, right? Because you are paying for it, not me. You are paying for it. So that's one of the check that you can check, especially if your internet is slow, right? Yes, you can clear your cache and do all of that, but check your internet speed. That will be the first thing I check, my internet speed, because I first know how much I should be getting. So I check my speed and then I call to find out what is happening. I should be getting a gig. What happened? I'm just getting 700. Come on. All right. So thank you all very much. And that was another computer and technology class. I hope you learned something. Really appreciate and thank you all very much. All right, wonderful. Okay, anyway, is there any questions or concerns or anything to divulge? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, cool. Okay, okay. Let me just check anywhere over here. Welcome. All right, just thanking for the presentation, especially with Dr. T presentation. Most people are loving it. All right, so at this time, we're just going to ask Queen Dr. T to give her final. Over to you, Dr. T.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this evening. We talked about the 10 warning signs you may not be living up to your best life. And again, we're all guilty at some time in our lives reaching a place of just being complacent, being wherever you are in your life. It may come because of, might just be a season you're going through, or maybe it's something to do with your health, or it might be the kind of people that you have in your inner circle. Whatever the reason may be, the most important thing you want to understand is that you don't want to stay there. One of the things I said during my presentation is that life happens. It's called life. No day is going to be perfect. We're all going to have challenges. We're promised that. I mean, there's no way in the world you're going to be in the world a certain length of time and you're not going to have challenges. But it's about how you come through. It's about you making up in your mind that you're not going to stay there. So again, these are the areas that you want to stay out of. You don't want to, You want to stop coasting along. If you find yourself coasting along, stop coasting along. Become fixed, be steadfast, and don't allow life to take you where it wants to take you. Stop making excuses for everything. Stop it. Don't make excuses for why you can't do something and why you can't be something. And stop allowing drama and chaos to rule your life. That takes up time and space. God did not intend for you to have all this drama in your life. If it's going to be drama, you should be the key character and you should be the one who is a star. And that should not be drama. So make sure you do that. And then, make sure that, you're making sure that your time keeps getting away from you. Whose fault is that? Everybody has 24 hours in a day. So why is there somebody get things done in 24 hours and you can't? Maybe you need to start prioritizing. Maybe ask yourself, are you motivated? Maybe you need to get rid of the drama. And maybe you need to just learn how to prioritize, whatever it may be. But that's an area that you need to stay out of. Okay. And then the last one is that you not put enough work in. Maybe you're just kind of like just coasting through it. Be motivated to do your best work, whatever that might be. And when you do that, you'll find yourself feeling good about yourself. You know that you've achieved what you want to achieve, and you'll be able to live your best life now. Nobody should want to live a life of complacency. We all should be purpose driven. We all should desire to reach our full potential, and we all should desire to die empty. And that happens when you stay out of those arenas, because our goal again is to live our best life and reach our full potential. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford. Really appreciate it. And remember, the computer is here to stay. Learn about it. Network is very simple and straightforward. Wi-Fi. If you only have one printer and you have a household that use printer from time to time, you put everything on the one network and you are able to print and to the one printer from each and every device in the house. All right, whether it's a smartphone or a tablet or a computer or a laptop, desktop or a laptop, you will be able to print if everything is on the same network. And remember, your Wi-Fi connection or your Wi-Fi speed from your internet service provider, please to find out what is your speed that you are paying for, whether you're going to look at the bill or you're going to call and find out. But find out, because you're paying for it. And if you are paying for 200 megabytes per second and you are only getting 50, then that calls for alarm. All right, so make the alarm so that you are getting what you pay for. All right, thank you all very much for another deep dive, globally changing lives. And we just want to thank everyone for joining us this wonderful Tuesday. And we do hope that you enjoy the rest of the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning, no, not in the morning, sorry, in the 1 p.m., it is the Yvonne Duo, which is Queen Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn, 1 p.m., One Global Movement. And on Thursday morning, it's O Passion Global, Singapore, Malaysia, at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Sundays, it is Dream Team at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Mondays, it is Mindset Monday, and that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 7 p.m., it is Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. So until we see each other again, especially those on YouTube, remember we still have a little after party to take care of. So for those on the YouTube, take care. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Take care.